I installed it for safety. It started watching first. And I didn't believe in things like that. Ghosts, paranormal stuff, cursed objects. None of it. I'm the type of person who checks the locks twice, installs cameras, reads manuals, updates firmware. Everything has a reason. Or at least, it should. Tomorrow, it started when my neighbor got robbed. Apartment 14C. Middle of the night. No broken windows. No forced door. Just things missing. Wallet, laptop, keys. The weird part? The door was still locked from the inside. Police said maybe he forgot. Left it open. Someone slipped in. But everyone on the floor knew that guy. Paranoid. Always checking locks. Always watching the hallway. That's why I bought the camera. A small one. Nothing fancy. Just a smart security cam with night vision. Motion detection. Live feed on my phone. Of Lang. I installed it above my door. Facing the hallway. Perfect angle. Anyone coming down the corridor, I'd see them. The first few days were boring. Exactly how security cameras should be. Empty hallway. Occasional neighbor. Mail delivery. Nothing strange. No phone. Then I noticed something small. Something stupid. Something I almost ignored. One, the camera would activate before anything moved. Motion detection would trigger, but the hallway was empty. Every time. At first I blamed the light. The hallway lights flicker sometimes. Old building wiring, cheap maintenance. I thought maybe the camera was reacting to that. But the motion alerts started happening at night when nothing was changing. Cries, 12:17 a.m. Motion detected. Empty hallway. And from 2:41 a.m. Motion detected. Nothing there. 3:03 a.m. Same thing. Just an empty corridor, cold fluorescent lights, doors closed, silence. It went on like that for days. Random alerts, random times, nothing on screen. Until one night, I woke up around 3, phone buzzing, motion alert. I opened the app. The hallway looked normal, but something felt off. I couldn't explain it. Just wrong. Then I noticed the camera angle. It had shifted. Barely. Just a few degrees. Instead of pointing straight down the hallway, it was angled slightly toward my door. A 0. I frowned. Zoomed in. Checked the timestamp. Crest. The camera had moved. Now, these cameras don't move. Not by themselves. No motors. No rotation feature. Just a fixed mount. So I checked the footage. Scrolled back. 10 minutes, 20, 30, I won, and then I saw it. Hola. At 2:58 a.m., the camera moved. Not fast, not obvious, Just a slow, careful shift, like someone adjusting it to except the hallway was empty. I watched the clip again, and again, and again, and the movement was real, tiny, almost careful, like something didn't want to be noticed. I won. I checked the mounting screws the next morning. Tight. Perfect. The camera hadn't been touched. That's when the alerts got worse. R2. No, they weren't random. They happened every night, around the same time, between 2:50 and 3:10 a.m. And the camera angle kept changing, slowly, little by little, every night. I'm one. At first it pointed down the hallway, then slightly toward my door, then more. By the end of the week, the camera was aimed almost directly at my apartment. Like it was watching the door. Right. Watching me. Comes up. I told myself it was mechanical drift. Loose mount. Cheap. Plastic. Gravity. Something normal. Something explainable. But the footage said otherwise, too, because every time the camera moved, something else happened. The hallway lights flickered, just once, a quick blink on you, and in that blink, something appeared in the frame. Not clear, not fully visible. Just a shape, dark, tall, standing at the far end of the corridor. I froze the frame, zoomed in. I won. Nothing there, just shadow, static, compression noise. I won, but the next night, it happened again. I too, light flicker, camera shift, shadow at the end of the hall, die, closer this time, not by much, just a little, but enough to notice, and that's when I stopped sleeping, end of 40, every night, same pattern, same time, Alu, the camera moved, the lights blinked, the shadow appeared, closer, closer, closer. One, always during the flicker, always for one frame. Like something was walking toward my door, between moments. End of 4, I stopped checking the hallway, stopped leaving my apartment late at night, stopped answering motion alerts, but the camera kept recording, and then came the night when the camera moved again, Olev, except this time, it didn't move toward the hallway. It moved toward my door, and stopped, and so pointing directly at the peephole, like it knew, like it understood, like it was waiting. That's when I noticed something else, something I wish I hadn't. So, because the camera wasn't the only thing moving, the shadow, was now standing right outside my door. And the motion alert didn't trigger, because technically, nothing was moving. As 9, the figure just stood there, still, silent, watching, and then, The camera tilted down slightly, to like it was looking at the door handle, or like it expected something to happen next. I stared at the screen for a long time. Too long. Long enough to feel stupid. Long enough to convince myself it was just noise. Just shadows. Just bad lighting. Until my phone vibrated again. Motion detected. I select, but this time, the camera wasn't showing the hallway. It was showing something else. Crest. Something much closer. My door. And the shadow. Standing right in front of it. I didn't open the door. Not that night. Not ever. I just stared at my phone. The screen lighting up my entire apartment. The hallway feed was frozen on that figure. Tall. Still. Standing right outside my door. Except it wasn't clear. Not fully human. More like a silhouette. Too dark to see details. But definitely there. I zoomed in. Bad idea. Because when I zoomed, the shape sharpened. Just slightly. Enough to notice something wrong. The proportions. Too long. The arms hung lower than they should. Almost to the knees. And the head tilted. Like it was listening. And for listening to me inside the apartment. To Rolf, I held my breath. Completely still. Like somehow the camera would hear me. Seconds passed. Then minutes. Nothing moved. Then the hallway light flickered. Just once. The frame glitched. Static flashed across the screen. And when the image returned, the figure was gone. I sat there for a long time, just staring, waiting for it to come back. End of soaks. But the hallway stayed empty. Silent. Normal. I told myself it was compression artifacts. Digital noise. Maybe someone walked by during the flicker. The camera skipped frames. My brain filled the gaps. 05. That explanation lasted until the next night. I'm Sive. 2:59 a.m. Motion alert. I didn't even want to open the app, but I did. Slowly. 10:04. The hallway was empty again, except the camera angle had changed. Now it was tilted slightly downward, pointing directly at my door, or like it had adjusted itself to get a better view. The timestamp blinked in the corner. 2:59 and 17 seconds a.m. Then the lights flickered again. Paints. The screen went white for a split second. And the figure appeared. Right in front of my door. Closer than before. This time I saw more. Not details, but shape, height, movement. Because the head turned. Not toward the hallway, not toward the stairs. Toward the camera. Toward me. My stomach dropped. Calmly, it knew the camera was there. Ovlang. Then something else happened. Something worse. The camera moved again, but not slowly this time. Not like before, as in it jerked. A quick adjustment. Like someone grabbed it and tilted it upward from the frame filled with the shadow's face. I knows, except it wasn't a face. Not really. Menu, just darkness, where a face should be. And two shapes, like eye sockets, but deeper, too deep, and the lights flickered again. The image cut out. Come for, when it came back, the hallway was empty. I barely slept that night, or the next, or the one after that. So, because the alerts never stopped, every night, same time, the camera moving, the lights flickering, the shadow appearing closer, until the distance was gone, until it stood right outside my door. Every night, but it never knocked, never moved, just waited. Then one night, the camera didn't show the hallway. It showed something else, irrelevant, my apartment, and I stared at the screen, confused. The feed was inside my living room, my couch, my kitchen counter, my lamp. I am all visible on the screen. Pros men, but the camera was still mounted outside. I had installed it myself. I knew where it was. Yet the footage clearly showed the inside of my apartment. The angle was wrong, higher, like it was mounted near the ceiling, watching everything. Watching me. I slowly looked around the room. Nothing there. No second camera. No blinking lights. No devices. Then the feed glitched. 1 to 40, and the camera angle changed again. And now it was pointing at the hallway inside my apartment, the short corridor leading to my bedroom. I could see my bedroom door, half open, dark inside, and something moved in that darkness, not a full shape, just motion. Slow, careful, like someone stepping back into the shadows. I ran to the hallway, turned on every light, checked every room, closet, bathroom, kitchen, and nothing. Gray. When I came back to the phone, the feed had returned to the outside hallway. The shadow was there again, standing outside my door, too close, but now it was different. How far? Now it was facing the camera completely. And the head tilted slowly to one side. I'm freer, like it was curious. Like it was studying me, too. That's when I realized something I should have understood sooner. And the camera wasn't protecting me. End of team. It wasn't watching the hallway. It was watching me. I'm lost, and the thing outside was watching the camera, and of watching what it saw, learning, and night after night, frame by frame, to my knees, studying my habits, when I slept, when I walked, when I turned off lights, when I moved. Number 5, the camera angle shifted again, just slightly, to mean now it pointed directly at my peephole, meant so, like it knew I was looking. 70, my phone buzzed again. Oliver, motion detected. 11, the hallway lights flickered. I breathed. The shadow moved for the first time. So, just one step, closer to the door. 1, and then the door handle moved. 1, just a small twitch, barely noticeable. Mato, I backed away, heart hammering. 2, mate, the handle didn't turn again. Oh, but the camera moved, tilting upward, or looking directly into the peephole, and looking straight at me. 4, and in the reflection of the glass, I saw something behind the shadow, something much larger, something still standing at the end of the hallway. 140, watching everything. 25, watching the shadow, watching the camera, watching me. From 1, the phone buzzed one more time. W, motion detected. Ins, but the hallway was empty again. O, completely empty. I view, except for the camera. 1, which slowly turned. Ew, until it faced the wall, and, like it didn't want to show the hallway anymore. 11, like it had finished watching. And that was 3 nights ago. How? I haven't left my apartment since. 2, the camera still sends alerts, but the feed is always dark now. 3, just static. I am, and sometimes, in the noise, I see shapes, and waiting. 2, because I finally understand something the camera understood before I did, and some things don't hide. They wait to be seen.